Holy shit, dude. I'm stressed. Why are you just looking at me? Ew. Ew.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Pillow Talk.
I'm Lord Philip.
He's not gonna give that up. Will it make you happy if I say it?
Please.
And
I will not stop.
Lady Abigail. Dude, there's so much noise happening outside. Like, I just hear our neighbors just like walking up and down the stairs and carrying things, and I'm like, bro, please stop.
They're moving stuff.
I'm just like hoping it doesn't get into our audio. We need to really get our podcast room set up.
We do.
Your brother needs to pick up that stuff that we don't need anymore.
Guys, the room is
It's still in progress.
It's still in progress. We stopped for a little bit, but
we're not even halfway there yet. We still need to move all that stuff out, and then we still need to decorate.
Hey,
we still need to get stuff for it.
We are getting there, okay?
I am
we are getting there.
stressed.
Once the room is finished, it'll be one together. It'll be united. Together.
I don't know, you guys. Like, my brain has just been such a shit show mess for the past 2 weeks. It has been insane. I have been crying. It's just been a wave, like a fucking roller coaster, like non-stop hurricane in my head. I don't know. Right before we were recording, I snapped.
Hey, but you got it figured out. We're good. We already started the podcast.
No.
You know, we're
going.
We're sailing, smooth sailing from here.
I'm exhausted.
So
daylight savings really messed me up. Honestly, we woke up at 11 today, and that's not normal for me. Normally I wake up at 9 o'clock on the dot. I'm just so used to it because during the weekdays I wake up around 9ish to get ready for work. Today, if it were yesterday, that means we woke up at 10, but now we woke up at 11. I feel like we didn't do anything today, even though we did a lot of stuff, but...
Well,
I don't
it
know.
mainly consisted of driving and all that, so...
I guess, but I'm just exhausted.
Yeah. If you guys haven't noticed, I got a haircut.
Oh my gosh, you look so cute!
So, no more long hair. Yeah, I like it. So, speaking of that, I got the haircut for a specific reason.
Ooh,
Two specific reasons. One, because I didn't want my long hair.
Well, and then next week's location will be not home.
Yeah, it will not be at home.
We'll leave it like that. We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
We'll let them see later.
But
yeah, I don't know. What were you trying to get at? You went and I was trying to
Oh, actually, no, okay. No, I was just thinking ahead of time when this is gonna be posted, or
This is gonna be posted while we are on our trip, and then when we come back, the new one. Well, okay, yeah.
Anyways, the one that we record on our trip
will be posted next week.
Yeah. So, if you guys would like to guess where we're going, we haven't been really getting comments, so I don't know if you guys want to comment down below and try and guess where we're going.
Ooh. Maybe if there are comments, special prize for the person who gets it right.
Oh, what's the prize?
I don't know. Drop your Venmo. I'm being dead ass.
We'll send you a penny.
But if if it's one of our family members, nah, that's cheating. You guys already know.
But you see, we have a couple of friends that watch it, so
but they don't really know where we're going. We haven't really talked about it.
Well,
and then also the only people that really know are our parents, and those are really the only people that are watching. Hi, Mom. And Dana. Dude, Dana's my stepsister. She is only 14 years old, and she is way taller than me. I'm only 5'4". I'm pretty sure she's the same height as you, or a little shorter.
She's
She's
taller than me.
Is she really taller than you? You're 5'11".
She's taller than me.
Oh.
Just by a little bit.
My gosh, my little sister's so tall. It's from my stepdad.
Yeah, I just want to get back to this point.
Sorry.
So, yeah, you said our parents are watching it. Yeah, you know how, like, sad and
No.
depressing that sounds?
No. Our biggest fans right there. They support. They're the ones putting our watch time up.
Yo, shout out to the fam.
Okay.
Hey.
But anyways, so what were we going to talk about today? Oh,
wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Before we get into that, I just want to say, man, did we have fun yesterday?
Oh my gosh. So, we have our kids, right? Our fur babies / scaly baby. We have Edward the dog, Jasmine the cat, and Guppy the bearded dragon, right? And then we have Sebastian, who is our human son, who is 20. And then
My old coworker.
we have 2 extra boys that I teach at my school. We do skate lessons with them on the weekends, so I literally see them 6 days a week. And yesterday we had the privilege of babysitting them, and that was so much fun.
Took them out to the mall.
We went to skate for a little bit.
We went to go skate for a little bit. I ended up getting grip tape on a new board.
We went to Mordecai to go get snacks, and then we went to McDonald's. Oh my gosh. One of the boys, he got 2 Happy Meals, and I was like, are you going to finish that? Like, that is a lot of stuff. I think he just wanted the extra Pokemon cards, but they ran out of Pokemon cards, so that sucks for him.
And then he went all Matt Stoney on his cheeseburger, and he was like...
And then his saliva was just, like, dripping off of the cheese. Ooh, there was, like, a string of saliva. I was like, dude, you're so gross. And then after that, what did we do? We played pool with him for a little
Smash
bit. We played pool
kids.
with him.
Oh, pool.
And then we played Smash, a little bit of Legos here and there, and then we watched some Dude Perfect, and then we watched the Penguins of Madagascar movie, which was actually pretty funny.
Penguins
Oh,
by Madagascar.
Penguins of Madagascar.
Oh, I thought it was by Madagascar.
If you want to fact check me.
No. I thought it was by.
I am an elementary school teacher. I know my kids' movies, and I am such a child also. I don't think that was really necessary. You didn't have to cut the cheese. Like, actually. That was gross. Can I get back to my point?
Fart fetish?
Can I get back to my point?
Sure.
Okay, so what we were going to talk about today was we were just going to dive in a little bit to our past and what we've went through to get us to where we are today. Like, granted, we are not the most perfect, most responsible people ever, but we try to be the best versions of ourselves. We're not like, oh, we're better than everybody, but we're just trying to, elevate who we are, and we just keep trying to do that every day. Because like I said, we're not perfect. I have mental breakdowns like every day, and that's just who I am, and that's just a part of my story. So, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. So, oh my God, Mom, don't come after me if you hear anything that I say. I don't even know what I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna let some of it out there.
If my ate is watching, I'm sorry, and my mom and my dad.
Both your moms?
Both my moms and my dad, I'm sorry, but...
I mean, if you guys want to click off, you can, but...
It is what it is.
Dang. Oh, by the way, follow our Instagram. I'll put the link in the bio. It's pillowtalkpod.mp4, something like that. I'll put it in the bio. But anyways, so my story. I was born here in the United States, not California, but I was born in Texas, and I was in a happy home with 2 loving parents, and eventually we just moved over to California, and we lived in San Diego since then. I think I was like 2 when we moved over here, and I went to so many different elementary schools. I think I went to like 5 different elementary schools because we just moved around a lot. I went to one elementary school in National City, but then we moved up to where we are now, and I went to 4 other elementary schools since then. And I mean, it sucked being the new girl all the time. I didn't really get to make a lot of friends, but then middle school, I was able to, it was steady after that. It was stable. But around middle school, there started to be like problems at home. And then I think my freshman year, my parents divorced. And that was like the worst thing ever because, like, you're so young and you just feel like, did I do something? Was there anything that I could do to fix it? Like, why don't my parents love each other? Why can't they stay together? Like, it sucked. But at the same time, it was like kind of cool because, I had 2 houses, basically. I mean, my parents, those were my parents' houses, but I could go back and forth if I wanted to. And then I was living with my mom. I chose to live with her. My brother chose to live with my dad. And eventually, my mom, she, like, started to not come home as often. And, I didn't really know why. But, that happened. I don't even know how much I could go in depth because that's my mom's story. That's not really my thing to tell. But she was going through a lot of stuff. And eventually my dad found out. And he was like, you know what? You're going to move in with me because it's not safe. I moved in with my dad. And then my mom was like out of my brother and I's lives for a few years. I don't even remember because that was a while ago. And then eventually she started to reach out, and then that's when I found out that my dad was really sick. I mean, on top of his heart disease, he had kidney failure. And literally when I found out, my heart just, like, shattered. But even though my dad was so sick, he did everything that he could to make sure that my brother and I were, like, good, that we were safe, that we were fed. And he didn't even really work either because, he was just taking care of us, taking care of the house, and then just making sure that my brother and I were okay. And then, my mom started to come back into our lives, and then she was getting all of her, her life back on track, and everything was good there. And then when I was, like, in high school, because I was around senior year, rewind. Junior year, I tried weed for the first time. And it was okay. The first time you get high, you don't really know if you're high. I don't know if you, like, remember that when you tried weed for the first time.
What, that you don't know that you're high?
Yeah. Or, like, if you do or you don't, whatever.
Oh, I knew.
You knew?
Oh, no, I felt different because, like, that was for my first time. And I'll get into that story later.
Okay,
like,
sorry.
once it's my turn.
But, yeah, I didn't really know if I was high or not. So I was just like, okay, whatever. I'm just going to let it happen. And then eventually, like, after that, I just, like, started to keep smoking and smoking and smoking. And every single time I tell this guy, like, dude, I was the stoner. Like, my nickname was Medusa because I would get people stoned. My tolerance was through the roof, and it was so expensive for me to keep smoking. But I still did it anyway. I remember one time I actually got caught by the police back over there behind our house, smoking in the car with some guy that I was just, like, seeing. Like a friends with benefits kind of thing. And, yeah, we got in trouble. Like, the police came, then 2 more cop cars came, so there's, like, 3 cars in total. They had to call my mom, and it was just bad. My mom, she smashed my pipe. She ripped up all my my rolling papers, and I was like, hey, that's fine, because in 4 days I'm turning 18. I can buy my own stuff. And then also, like, I knew people that were over 18, so I could just ask them to buy it for me. So it didn't really stop me. But let me tell you, like, from then on until, like, my first or second year in college, I just kept smoking. Like, I would go to my job, and I was high 24/7. And that kind of led into other things. Like, when they say that marijuana is not a gateway drug, that is bullshit. Like, I mean, granted, it also had to do with the people that I was around, but, like, I took Molly, like, twice, and both those times it was laced with, like, speed or some shit. And it was so bad, because, like, my friends, one time they took 2 pills, and they, like, snorted it, and they were not okay.
Really?
They were not okay.
What happened?
I mean, I took it, and I was just going wherever else, because I was just like, whatever. I didn't think anything too much of it, but, like, they just were not feeling good at all. And I don't remember. Like, I really don't remember what happened that night. And then, what else did I do? I mean, I said I would never do Molly again, but then, I mean, oh, God. I did Molly last year. Oh, God, I'm such a bad person. Okay, but anyways, I drank a lot. I did those drugs. Oh, and then I did, what's it called? Salvia. Salvia was kind of crazy. Dude, that was... No, honestly, though, you can't talk, you hallucinate, and I only did that twice. Because I was scared, because if I can't control it, that's why I was so, weed, because if I can't control it, then it's no-go. I remember doing... What else did I do? I did Doha. The Middle Eastern tobacco or whatever, that really potent stuff. One of my old friends, we were supposed to share a bowl, and he did the whole bowl to himself, and he had a seizure on the patio of one of my ex-boyfriend's houses. And it was scary. I was panicking, but at the same time, I was just like, bro, you smoked the rest of my Doha. What the fuck? I was that person. I was so bad. But then anyways, I halfway through college, I kind of grew up a little bit, and I stopped smoking weed. It was so hard to cut it cold turkey, because honest to God, they say you can't get addicted to marijuana, but I was addicted. Because I felt like I needed it all the time, and I relied on it to make me feel better, to numb out everything that was going on in my life. Because, it was so hard for me to trust my mom to come back into my life. My dad, on the other hand, he was his health was slowly declining, and I knew he was going to die soon, but I just didn't know how soon. And then on top of that... You
just wanted it...
I just needed to escape. Yeah, exactly. I needed an escape. And then, on top of that, too, I had to take care of my shithead little brother. Love you. And, because I basically raised him because of all the other shit that was happening in our lives. And it was hard. Don't cry. But, I don't regret anything that I went through. I know, there's a lot of shit still happening in my life. But I don't regret anything, because it all happens for a reason. But yeah, like I said, went through college, stopped smoking weed, I stopped drinking, I stopped vaping, and then the reasons why. Oh, you can sneeze? Bless you. Coronavirus. Just kidding. The reasons why I stopped smoking and drinking on top of that too. It wasn't just to get my shit together, but it was because there was this influence in my life. Right? Yeah. Okay. So, I went heavy Christian girl for a second, and I have no problem with my religion. It's just, at the time, that was the only thing that I had to keep me going, which was fine. I was a drummer on the worship team, I was a youth leader, all that other stuff. I worked on the audio engineering team, blah, 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 blah. And that was great for, the meantime. And then, where am I at? 2019, beginning of the year, my dad gets a surgery for his dialysis, and he is sick. Completely sick after his surgery. He had a fucking gnarly ass fever. He was delusional because of the fever, and it was just bad. And then my brother and I and my my evil stepmother, we rushed him to the hospital, and they were like, yo, your intestine is dead. We need to do surgery. My dad, he was so delusional. He was like, no, I can just eat skyflakes. And for you Filipinos out there, if you know what skyflakes are,
it's pretty much a Filipino,
it's a biscuit cracker thing.
It's a biscuit cracker thing. Just imagine a saltine,
oh yeah, it's basically a saltine.
Just a normal
but this one was
saltine cracker.
This was a buttery cracker-ish kind of thing. But anyways, he was like, I can just drink my green tea and eat my skyflakes, and it's all good. And me and my brother yelled at my dad. We were like, no. And then eventually he signed off for the surgery, and he was in the hospital from February up until late April, he passed away in the hospital, and that was the hardest thing that I had to go through. And I'm trying so hard not to cry. Literally, we visited him at the cemetery earlier today, and I was just crying. And it's been almost 2 years. But my brother and I, we went through that, and I was only 21. I was about to turn 22. And after that, it was just my brother and I here, because, you know, our evil stepmother, she moved out after my dad passed away. We haven't had contact with her since. But, you know, my mom, she was just trying to, you know, help my brother and I out just to get, like, our feet
through the door.
Sure.
Our foot through the door.
Or, like, she was just trying to help us out. She, you know, she did everything that she could to help us. She was always there. As annoying as it was, she was there.
She'd go get mad at you when she watched this.
No, she knows I love her. She knows I'm thankful for everything that she's done and will do in the future. She's my best friend. That's my best friend. But, after that, I mean, like, what? In September, that's when I met this dude. And let me tell you, he was a pain in the ass. He was actually a dick. But I'll let him tell his story. But, I mean, after everything that we've been through, I mean, we're here now, and everything's okay. But I'm not trying to, you know, with my story, like, I've been through a lot of different shit. I've seen a lot of different shit. I've tried a lot of different shit. And I'm not saying, like, oh, my story is, like, way worse than other people's. Like, I've had it hard. No, like, I've learned a lot through everything that I've gone through. And, you know, like, even with, like, all the little racist shit that I've gone through, because, you know, I'm Filipino. I look like I'm fucking Korean. You thought I was Korean?
I thought she was Vietnamese.
Oh,
when we first
Vietnamese, my
met.
bad, Vietnamese, yeah. And, like, I've just had so many racist comments thrown at me growing up, because I live in such a white-dominated community. And in middle school, I've had people, because my dad would bring me, like, you know, Asian bento boxes. That shit was good. That shit smacked, okay? And my dad would bring it to me, and all these kids were always picking on me, like, oh my god, are you eating dog? Or, you know, even in high school, like, oh, can I copy off of you? Can I cheat off of you? Because, you know, you're Asian. You get really good grades. And I didn't even really get, you know, the best grades in high school. I didn't even get good grades until college. College is when I really tried. But, you know, after all that backlash and just, like, all that other shit, like, it was hard. Not gonna lie. But I learned a lot of shit from that. I grew from it. And all those lessons that I've learned, I'm taking it now into, like, the future, into everything that I do. And, you know, even trying to grow with my mental illness. Just learning about that every day and just, like, accepting it. It is what it is. I'm sorry, I took up a lot of time and I talked a lot.
It's okay. You have to tell your story. I'm just gonna make mine quick.
I'm sorry.
So, where do I start off? My parents.
Mommy and Daddy liked each other. They hugged and they had a baby.
So, my parents, they had my brother first, and then they had me. Growing up, like, yeah, everything was good. My mom and dad, they separated when I was really, really little. I don't even remember it.
Was this, like, in elementary school or, like, before?
No,
that?
This is when I was before.
So before elementary school.
Elementary
Holy
school,
crap.
Yeah. Yeah, so they separated. I lived with my dad. You know, we lived in a Filipino community, so, you know, there was a lot of Filipinos in our town. But, you know, growing up, everything was fine. You know, I still talk to my mom, you know, when I was little, and, you know, I still talk to her now. You know, went to school, everything was fine. You know, got through school, elementary school, middle school, high school. All that was good. But the one thing, actually, that I do remember is the worst thing that could ever happen to me when I was like growing up was getting hurt. I always got hurt. You know.
I mean, that's the skateboard life right there.
Well, no, it was other things besides skateboarding.
It's just little boyitis right there. I don't know.
I guess I could tell those stories.
I mean, what about the major one?
I'll get to that's the last one.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So, me and my cousin would always like play fight or whatever you call it. We'd like fuck around or whatever. So I don't remember what came first, but when I was at my daycare thing or whatever, I was on the little merry-go-round thing. I ended up grabbing the bar.
Oh, the spinny thingy,
yeah.
Right? Okay.
Ended up the thing that's Ed and Eddie. Yeah, that thing. So I ended up grabbing the bar and sticking my head close to the ground, like as close as I could. Ended up there was a piece of concrete that was like razor sharp, and it ended up cutting my eyebrow open. So I had to get stitches with that, and then like I said again, I don't know what came first. It was that or this other time where my cousin, we were at my grandma's house, he picked me up, he threw me against the cabinet, and I busted my eyebrow open
was
again.
It the other eyebrow? Oh,
the same eyebrow. Yeah. So, there was that. I always got sick when I was a kid. I had asthma. We would stay at my grandma's house, and for some strange reason, me and my brother wanted to sleep under the stairs because we thought that would be cool.
Like Harry Potter living kind of thing.
I don't know. My aunt and my grandma didn't want us to sleep under the stairs, but we did anyways. I was having an asthma attack. My dad ended up getting off work late at night just to come pick me up and take me to the hospital. Like, there was that. And then the last major one that happened. The recent one. But not recent.
The one where your dad's like, make sure he stops skateboarding, okay, Abby?
So, middle school, 8th grade, I went to Rancho Penasquito Skate Park. So there's this like little pyramid thing. So it goes up, it's a flat, and then it goes back down. So just that little flat part on top, that little gap, that was maybe like a foot or two. I tried to pretty much ollie over that, and just where my hand is, like where there's a gap, I tried to go over that and then go back down. Was going way too fast. I ended up overshooting it. I ditched my board midair. Ended up falling straight on my side right here. And didn't know what was going on. I felt like I had to throw up. I called my dad to come pick me up. He ended up came to the skate park, picked me up, and I was in so much pain. Ended up getting back home. I was in my brother's room. I think my brother was gone hanging out with his friends. I was in his room screaming my fucking head off, punching the floor. And like I fucking asked God, I'm like, God, like, please, I don't want to die. Like, please, like, cure me or save me. Like, I don't know what's going on. It was so much pain that I passed out, and then I woke up in pain again. My grandma Nini, rest in peace to my grandma, came in the room, hearing me scream, ended up getting my dad, went to the hospital, got x-rays done. Come to find out, I ruptured my spleen, had to do immediate surgery. They cut me open, they took out my spleen, got sewed up. That was a major thing.
And yet he still skates.
And yeah, I still skate. Still living. Haven't. Oh, one thing I did miss. There's one more. As a stupid kid, kids, I am telling you, if you are watching this, do not reenact any stunts on Jackass, please. I'm fucking telling you, do not do it, or do not do anything equivalent to their stuff. Okay, so.
Oh my god.
So my cousin Gabe was over. at my house, my old house
Okay,
that I grew up in.
can I ask you a question really quick?
Sure.
Why does it seem like you and Gabe together is just not a good idea? You guys did a lot of stupid shit together. You guys always got hurt.
No, I was the one getting hurt, not him.
Okay. That was my only question.
Okay, so we're at my old house, and so we have a really like small driveway, and my dad, when I was little, ended up he bought a basketball hoop and like screwed it into the roof. So we had a basketball hoop in front of our house in our driveway, and one day we were outside of my house, and I'm like, "Hey, what if I did a slam dunk?" And he's like, "Oh, that's cool. Like, try it." So I tried to do it without the ball first. So the first time I did it, so there's a trash can right here, and then the basketball hoop is right here. So I tried to jump from the trash can to the basketball hoop and like grab it to see if I could actually do it. The first time I did it, and it works. So I'm like, all right, let me just feel it out again, make sure it's not sketchy. And so I go and try it again. The second time I jump, I grab it, but then I didn't fully grab it, so I slipped, landed on my side right here, and my wrist straight to the ground, flat.
Ouch.
Ended up breaking my wrist, and my cousin Gabe was like, "Oh my god, Grandma Nini's coming outside, or someone's coming outside. Just say you tripped over the brick." And I'm like, "Okay, fine." So I like did that, and so she came outside and was like, "Oh, what's going on?" "Oh, I tripped on the brick or whatever. I fell." And so like later that night, like I think my grandma was there. I don't remember. Told my dad. My dad looked at it, and this thing like swollen. Like it looked like a sausage. Like I had sausage fucking arms or some shit. Like it was just really swollen right here. So. I mean, nothing really happened to me nothing like traumatic happened to me when I was growing up. Just a lot of
Dumb shit.
Pain and
Dumb shit.
stupid ideas. I was gonna say stupidity, but
Oh. Either way works.
Yeah, I got through high school. I was just working, really. Let's see. I guess I can get to the part. So, just to cut to the chase, I had a addiction. I was abusing a substance. And that was a pretty big battle for me. But before that, I tried smoking weed. Tried it for the first time. It wasn't the most pleasant experience. Ended up smoking it out of a dank tank and a socket piece, like a socket wrench.
Yeah.
Or like just an extension. Or
oh my god, all the makeshift shit that we like all have come up with.
Water bottles, apples.
Everything.
Cans. So first time smoking weed,
You said you felt it.
I did feel it. So I smoked, and I thought it would be like, okay, I also smoked cigarettes, back then. So I thought it would be like smoking a cigarette, where it's like, okay, it's like nicotine. You smoke a cigarette and like you feel it immediately, like, oh, you're kind of lightheaded, you're a little like, ooh, nicotine buzz. But I thought it would be like that. So I ended up smoking, and it didn't hit me, and I'm like, I thought it'd be like a cigarette. And then my friend's like, no, you gotta like smoke more. And I was like, all right.
Oh, they made you smoke more?
Well, I thought it would be like a cigarette, so I'm like load me up. Like,
oh,
load it up,
God, dude. For your first time too. How zoinked were you? He's thinking, doesn't even remember.
No,
because he was just so fucking.
I'll tell you
out.
in a second. Just let me finish the story.
Sorry, so many questions.
So I ended up just like, I kept smoking. I thought it'd be like a cigarette. And mind you, it's raining and we're at this park. It's called the Hidden Park. It's literally exactly what it sounds like. It's hidden. You gotta walk through this alley that's got bushes like all along the side of it. And you gotta make a turn and there's more bushes and you make another turn.
So it lives up to its name.
Pretty much. So we're in the little alley smoking and I'm like, this isn't working. Like, what the fuck? Like,
This isn't working.
What's going on? Like, do I need to smoke more? And they're like, I think you're good. So we ended up leaving the park, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm fucking high. Like, holy shit. We're walking, it's raining, and I'm jumping all over the place. I'm jumping on electrical boxes, thinking that I could shake it off. I'm like, oh my god, I'm not high. I could just shake it off. And I'm like jumping all over the place. And then my homie's like, yo, like, stop, like, just walk. Like, I'll tell my mom to come pick us up. We'll just go to the school that's right near the park and just wait there, right? We get there, and I'm sitting there just, like, freezing cold, like, just like this.
Were you just, like, staring at one spot?
I was, yeah. I was staring at one spot. I was so gone. My mind just went blank.
Oh, I was going to say what was going through your head, but never mind.
Well, no, what was going through my head
Were you regretting it?
I was regretting it, yes. I was so high that, like, I didn't know how to take it, and I was scared. I was anxious. I was scared.
Oh,
I was
no.
paranoid. I didn't want it.
How old were you?
Oh, It's a good question.
Do you not remember? Was
No.
it, like, in high school or after high school? Don't even remember that, huh? Do 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 do.
I wish we had the effects where it would like slowly zoom in and then it'd be like all the mathematical questions, like just.
Yeah, well, once we, have money for Final Cut, we can do that.
But yeah, no, like I was so gone. I was like freaking out, paranoid, all this shit. My friend's mom ended up she picked us up from the school, went back to his place, and I passed out on his bed. And he's just sitting there playing games, like playing his new video games or whatever, like this little like console he got or some shit. I don't remember what it was. It had a bunch of old games on it, but yeah, like I woke up and I'm like, yo, you got any food? Like I'm hungry. And like that was funny to him because like
the munchies, because you like knocked the fuck out and then you woke up and you had the munchies.
Like I woke up, like I was perfectly fine. Like I still felt high, but I was just really hungry. And that's the only thing that was on my mind. Like I wasn't thinking of like how paranoid I was or, I wasn't freaking out just because I was so hungry. I just wanted to eat,
Okay, well you survived.
Yeah. So, I mean, like that was one thing. Like I've never fucked with drugs besides that and the other substance that I don't really want to speak of. So there were just two things. I never, rolled. I never took Molly, like Xanaxes, all the other acid shrooms. Like I don't.
That's okay. I mean, out of everything that I've tried, I never really did acid or shrooms either because it freaked me the fuck out. It's
too much of like a mental thing.
Cause like I can't handle tripping like that. I mean, yeah, I did salvia, which was a hallucinogen, but at least I knew it was gonna end within like 15-20 minutes. With weed, I could control it. I can't do that now. I can't smoke weed now. Like that messes me up. I will have a panic attack. It's always a bad high. And I mean, like with you too. When we tried it again, like, it was awful. Super bad.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I mean, I was in your life during that portion of substance abuse, but how did you manage to overcome it? Or, like, what got you through it, basically?
Well, mainly you. So, like, I just had to come to, like, my...
Like a realization?
Realization, like, I just had to... Pretty much, like, I need to make a decision. Do I want to keep doing this and, ruin my life even more and hurt myself? Or do I want to, be with the person I love and care about? So, like, which one is it? So, of course, I ditched that substance out because, I want to live, like, a happy life. I want to be healthy, I don't want to do that and then regret it later on because, it's going to fuck me up. But what really got me through it was just, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to ruin my life later on, and I don't want to.
Was it like, because you've seen firsthand what it can do to people? And you were like, I don't want to end up like that? Or...
I mean, just the stories that I've heard, really. But, yeah, I mean, like, I was going through that, like, I first started doing it because, it was fun,
Which is how it, like, I feel like that's, like, how it always starts. And then you enjoy it a little too much, and then that's something that's your crutch. It ends up being your crutch. It ends up numbing everything that you're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're, like what you said earlier, it's your escape from reality.
Yeah, and so I started doing it at first because it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
But then, I guess I could just put it out there. I started doing it for fun because, I would only do it when I'm drinking, But it got to the point to where, like, I was doing it when I was drinking and then, like, started doing it without drinking. And that's what, like, got me more into it and more hooked on it. And it just became a thing to where I was, like, constantly doing it. And just, like, it really, like, ripped me apart, really.
How much money did you spend on it?
A lot. Like...
You were broke all the time.
I was, and it was pretty bad. I spent, I wouldn't say majority of my money on it because
How much
I know
a week? That's like a better gauge. Or unless you don't remember, then it's fine. I'm just curious.
I would say more. Well, it was about like.
Do.
It was more than 100 every week. Around.
And I am in debt because of this.
Huh?
No, not because of your thing, but that's because you were broke all the time, and then I always had to feed us and, like, make sure we were good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
But yeah, so, well, I mean, I still had money. I had to pay my bills. But whatever was left, I'd use it towards that. And
yeah, I know. Hey, but I'm still here.
Do you still love me? Do you hate me at all?
No, I still love you. I definitely still see a future with you.
Okay, because I don't want this podcast to, like, I don't want to stop this podcast and then you, like, move the mic and just be like...
Or like after the end of the podcast, I'm like, okay, that was a good recording. What the fuck? No, because we've already talked about this. We don't normally go as in depth because there's still a lot of trauma surrounding that for both of us.
No, that's why I stayed so quiet earlier. I was looking at the laptop screen and I just, like, was kind of anxious. This is, like, to be honest, guys, like, I'm still, like,
he's still trying to cope with...
I'm still traumatized by it. I'm still trying to cope with it, and it's hard for me to talk about it, but I want to get it off my chest because it'll make me feel better at the end of the day.
I feel like talking about it is also part of the healing process, because, like, you and I both, we've actually gone... You've gone to counseling. I've gone to therapy. It helped, in a way. I mean, I have my reserves about counseling, because... my own experience wasn't that great. Or counseling therapy. You've had your own experience with counseling, and it was okay. It helped talking about it. It helped, like having somebody on the other end not being judgmental, especially since it was so fresh for both of us with what we went through.
It helped, but fuck, my therapist was like,
dude, she was a mean one. She was angry all the time.
Bitch.
And then meanwhile, my therapist, I appreciated everything that he did for me, but
he was nice.
But then eventually, though, because I go to like a generic person. It goes, it's through my insurance, so I don't have to pay for it. But they get so many people all the time, so then it's like, it just got to the point where he kept asking, like, do you still need me? Like, the last 3 or 4 sessions that I did with him, and I was like, yeah, of course I still need you. I'm still here. I haven't tried to move on or anything to somebody else or whatever, because I'm still pretty traumatized. I'm still hurting. I'm still going through this. But then eventually, like, he just kind of pushed me on meds, and I was...
That week that she was on meds, man, that shit
we talked about it earlier in a podcast,
yeah.
But yeah. Woo!
But going back to me, geez, this is going to be like an hour-long podcast.
Who cares? We're talking about us. It's fine. Talking about real life shit.
First hour-long podcast.
Talking about real life shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, like, I was battling that, it was hard for me to quit cold turkey.
Oh my god, that was bad too. Yeah.
So she didn't want me to do it, and I still ended up like
behind my back doing it.
I went behind her back, which
a couple times.
I am not proud of. Got to the point to where it was affecting us. So I had to make that decision. Like I said earlier, it was, that or her.
But I kind of made that decision for you.
Well, yeah.
I broke up with him because of all of that. It got to the point where I was going through so much, anxiety and trauma because of that. Because I already went through a lot of shit when I was growing up. But then adding that on top of it, it was just rough. Because I have been through it before where a family member was abusing a substance and they just dipped out, so I made that decision where I was like, I'm leaving you. I couldn't do it in person because of, his substance abuse, and I didn't want to risk seeing him because I didn't know how it was going to go. So, at least I was strong enough to say what I needed to say, and then, he grabbed his things from the house through my little brother, and then he left. And then eventually, he reached out. I said we could talk, and here we are. But then, did it again. Yeah.
See, I don't know, this just, it still traumatizes me when we talk about
and
this.
It's okay, you're still healing from it, and I still am too, but we're here now.
It makes me feel like shit, honestly. I feel like a fucking bad person.
Hey, but you're still alive. I'm here. You have, my parents that are always willing to reach out to you and talk to you about it. But, you're not alone in all of this. That's the thing. You have such an amazing support system that's, always willing to be here and to, talk to you. And, you haven't... You've gotten through the worst of it, which was the cravings and just thinking about it and wanting it.
But, now that, can we tell them that last time?
I don't care. That's your story.
Oh, so...
That's your business.
So the last time I did it was my birthday, and, after that, I was still having, small cravings, but, not really.
Were you just, kind of over it at that point?
Yeah, I was. I was over it, but then, I had that little bit of me,
that still wanted it.
Just that tiny bit.
No, it's okay. I'm kind of the same way with the Zoloft. I know it was only in my system for, a week and a half, 2 weeks, but... Every single time I feel anxious, to the max, I just don't want to feel anything. And I'm like, dude, I wish I saved some of that Zoloft so that I could take one right now and just not feel anything.
But if you fucking took that pill, like, just one, like, would it fuck with you?
I think so, because literally after, like, the first day or like, first 2 days,
because you gotta keep taking it for the effects to show.
Yeah, but after the first day or two, I was just robot.
But, yeah, like, I was still having those small cravings, but then, like, that was, like, the last time, and, like, since then, like, even now, because I did it with drinking, and, like, since, you know...
You just associated it with drinking.
I associated it with drinking. It was hard for me because, like, we cut down on drinking. But, like, we still, like, those times where we still drank, like, I kind of wanted it, but then, you know, I told myself, like, to be strong and, like, push through it, you know. It just kind of, like, got better and better from there. Like, you know, yeah, if we were to drink right now, I wouldn't crave it, you know.
It's just like a thing in the past.
It's
like,
yeah, it's just a thing in the past. Like,
yeah.
I always craved it with drinking. And
I remember...
I think that was the... I only associated that substance with drinking.
Yeah.
And it paired together.
So, like, drinking was your trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I remember...
And it was, really. I
Like, I remember when you, like, were first starting to stop, like, officially... Like, after your birthday, and then if we were to drink, you were like, I can't do this right now. And then eventually you learned that, you know, drinking a lot, you couldn't do it. So, I mean,
and that's the real reason why we don't drink as much, too.
That's not the real reason.
Well, that's the real reason for me, really.
Mine is just because I can't, I'm just, it's to turn off for me now. Like, I can't get drunk like we used to.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And let me just, like, put this out there. So, I would do it on the weekdays. So, like, okay, I would get drunk as hell, and I'd be up fucking late.
Oh yeah, you were not sleeping, really.
But I mean, like, not here, my other place.
I mean, like, you did it a couple times here, though, when you slept over before you lived with me. You were up.
But I was doing it to where, like, I would need to drink to do it, but then, like, it would keep going, and it would get late and late and late and late. Mm-hmm. You know, and it wasn't good. I can remember it very clearly, and...
I mean, it's still pretty recent, too, so that's why. But it's gonna take time to heal, and time to get over it, and time to accept that you know, that you went through that. And it's gonna be okay. Like, eventually it will actually be okay.
No, it's okay now. It's just like I don't have those cravings. I don't think about it.
Yeah.
You know? I just
Yeah.
Yeah, our camera died on us, sorry. But
what were you saying?
I'll just finish it off. So those are, like, the things that I went through. So what she went through was more than what I've experienced. Like, she's experienced a lot, and I didn't really experience a lot when I was growing up. So.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say growing up, but, like, remember, this isn't like a big dick contest. This isn't.
Yeah.
Oh, who's more damaged? I mean, we're just, like, sharing what we've gone through, and, like, you know, hopefully it gives hope to people out there, like you guys, who have been through it or are going through it and think that it's not going to get better. It will get better. I mean, I'm still battling my anxiety and depression every day, and this guy can testify to that.
Yeah, and, like, just know that, like, you're not alone. Like, someone is always out there for you.
Yeah.
And, you know, it doesn't matter who is there. Like, if it's, you know, family member or, like, a relative or some, you know, I mean, friend.
There's even hotlines out there too, which I will put in the bio. But there are hotlines where people will talk to you and talk you through it. Like, if you are feeling super down, like, if
you need help, like, there's always someone out there.
There's always these, like, utilize those resources, you know. But, you know, talking about the thing that I went through like middle school and high school with, you know, being in a white dominant community. I just want to touch on this just a little bit before we end the pod. It has been pissing me the fuck off. I have been so heartbroken, and I really want to cry right now because of this. But like the hate going towards all the Asians out there, you know, because it started with our previous administration, where instead of just saying coronavirus, the China flu, the whatever else they called it, you know, like I didn't really want to pay attention to what they were saying because I was just like, dude, this is so fucking ridiculous that it is coming out of their mouths, you know. And after that, it just like it opened up this world to where, or this door to where, like, it was okay to be racist. It was okay to put other human beings down. It didn't matter what your background was, because like I said earlier, I grew up here. I was born here. I am an American. Yes, I'm Filipino, but I was born here, you know. So for people to even stoop that low, even with how young we were too, for them to say, you know, stop eating dog, your eyes are so small. Oh my god, you have a fat ass for an Asian. That's another thing too. Like, I was sexualized just like that. And because there's all these like stereotypes that are not completely true, you know. And just seeing all the damage that people are doing, like with hurting elderly Asians, that is not okay, you know. And
then like they're the most easiest targets to like get to.
Well, and then
like,
plus, if you think about it, like that generation, they are like, their thing is like, keep your head down, stick to the status quo. We're not gonna cause any trouble. We're not, you know. So a lot of them were just so like, we're not gonna say anything, and plus they were afraid to say something too. And it's like, it's our turn to, you know, stand up for them and be that voice that they need. You know, they came to this country to, you know, pave a better life for all of us. Because, you know, both of our, you know, our parents, or all of our parents, like, they came here to America in search for a better life, you know, that American dream. And to make sure that their future generations, us and our children and their children and so on and so forth, are gonna have a better life than they had in the Philippines, or, you know,
wherever else
they came
like,
from.
wherever you're from, like,
yeah.
So, you know, seeing all this stuff, like I've seen, I think it was me and you were in bed.
We were watching like a few things because we were just scrolling through Instagram, and we were just like, dude, there's just more talk about it. And like, yeah, at the beginning of, you know, coronavirus last year, there was a lot of, you know, hate on Asians because they were like, oh, it came from China. Oh my god, I don't give a fuck if you're not Chinese. You just need to go back to China. Like, there's so many different types of Asians too. Like, they all just try to associate us with just one.
Yeah, and like that's very, like, it fucking sucks, you know?
Yeah.
That we're, like, they think that we're the cause of the problem, and it's like,
just wear your fucking mask.
Yeah. And like, you know, so the thing is, that I really like is, with all the hate crime that's going on now, and like even before this, you know, the whole Black Lives Matter thing, like,
oh yeah,
you know, the black or
the African American community.
Yeah, sorry. The African American community has joined with the, you know,
the Asian community. Oh,
the
yeah,
Asian
because,
community,
like, you know,
as one.
We grieved with them. We stood with them. We screamed with them. You know, we fought with them, and now they're helping all of us. You know, we're all together as brothers and sisters, just trying to fight for the same cause, which is equality, which is, you know, basically our freedom, our equal rights. And it's just, oh my god, why am I gonna cry? Literally, I just want to cry this whole podcast. But, you know, no matter who you are, because, you know, even this, I know there are some of you out there who are not Asian, but you guys enjoy our food a lot. You guys enjoy some of the things that we've put out. And, like, as an Asian community, not us, but, you know, stand up for it. You know, support it. Be that voice. Be that outlet. You know, just help one another.
Like, we're not here to hate on each other just because
We're different colors.
We're different colors,
yeah.
or like we've you know, we've done something, or you know, someone did something, and it's like, oh, that person's Asian, they did something, so we gotta hate all Asian people. Like, no, it's not that. Like, how do I say it? Like, don't point fingers at each other. You know, I don't even know what I'm trying to get at. It's just,
we're all together on this, you know, and if you have a voice, use it. You know, there's social media, there's like everything. There's Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. Like, there's so many different things that you can use. So use it. Use your voice. Stand up for what's right. Stand up for what you believe in. And, you know, to all my Asian brothers and sisters out there, let's keep on fighting for what's right. Dang. This was like a deep pod.
oh, yeah, it is.
I'm probably going to cry after this, low key. I've had like a couple mental breakdowns today, but...
All good.
Yeah.
Well,
on that note...
I think we'll end the pod there. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Next week's pod will not be here.
So
in this,
comment and take a guess. If we've told you where we're going, don't leave your Venmo. We're not gonna Venmo you. But, or you know, if you have a Cash App or Venmo, whatever you want to use or whatever you do use, if you want to, leave it down below with your guess.
First one to get it right, we'll make sure to look at the comments if there is any comments.
Mom,
and we'll Venmo you. So yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment, like, subscribe,
ring the notification bell, and we are out.
Bye,
later.
Guys.